Hello everyone, and welcome to my office once again. We have a special treat today though. You see, unlike my past few episodes, I have a special new segment I want to show all of you. I call it the Mod-a-Lot Spotlight. Basically, this video series will highlight specific mods, add-ons, and homebrew games that go above and beyond expectations by adding incredible features, or bringing whole new experiences. I feel this segment will be a great way to introduce and expand on people's knowledge of these custom works, and help to make these titles more open to the public eye. And without further delay, I'd like to introduce you to my first Mod-a-Lot Spotlight titled GoldenEye Source. This is a total conversion mod made by Team GoldenEye Source using Valve's Source engine as a base. GoldenEye Source is an online multiplayer first-person shooter designed as both a modern-day remake and an expansion to the original GoldenEye 64 game from 1997. The game initially released as an alpha version in 2005 and went on to win the ModDB Editor's Choice Award the next year for the most successful reinvention of the original game. You'll find a link in the description down below that will take you to the download page, but let's talk about the game first. GoldenEye Source runs just as you would expect from any other Source engine game. The menu of course has that GoldenEye flair with a well-made custom graphic and the classic 007 theme. And of course, like other Source engine games, you'll have a lot of the same menu layouts. The same options you would get in other Source engine games for changing graphics settings or game modes will be set up the same way in GoldenEye Source, so navigating won't be too much difficult to figure out. Once you configure your game settings and get a match started, you'll be dropped into a front menu where you can choose your team or to be a spectator. Depending on either the game mode or whether you pick to play as MI6 or Giannis, you'll be given a handful selection of classic 007 characters to play as, ranging from James Bond himself to Jaws. A large cast is here to choose from, and some of them offer alternative outfits for you to switch between. If you're familiar with the gameplay style of Counter-Strike Source, Half-Life 2, Garry's Mod, or Team Fortress 2, then you won't have much difficulty picking this game up. It feels just like them, but it has its own special nuances that make it unique. For example, holding down the right mouse button will bring up a crosshair to help you aim. It doesn't move around the screen like in the original GoldenEye, but it's still very helpful. The other difference is how your character can move around. If you walk at an angle in any direction, your character will actually move a little faster. This isn't an oversight, it's actually a feature that's mentioned in the tips. I'm not sure whether or not this also existed in the original GoldenEye, but it can be a helpful way for you to escape an enemy. GoldenEye Source plays regularly as a run-and-gun shooter like you would have expected it to in the original GoldenEye game. Most of it, if not all of the weapons from the original, have been brought back to the Source remake, including the weapons that were unlocked with the Game Shark. And of course they all look and sound gorgeous. Gunplay in this game is also a little more frantic than it was in the original GoldenEye since it allows for more than just 4 players. Many things about GoldenEye Source hark back to the original GoldenEye. Things like the radial health and armor meters, the crosshair I mentioned, and even the death scene all return to remind us that though this might be on a new engine, it's still very much like the original game. GoldenEye Source also has a brand new soundtrack to it that includes remixes of the original GoldenEye music pieces, as well as some other welcome mixes from other 007 movies. The map selection for GoldenEye Source was also chosen very well. New maps have been made as reimaginings of their GoldenEye 64 counterparts, but the programmers have also included classic versions of some of these maps. While the newer versions are the modern take of these maps, the classic versions are nearly identical to the original GoldenEye game. The geometry of these classics are the same as they were on the Nintendo 64, however they use higher resolution textures instead. Maps such as Facility have both a classic and modern version, allowing you to pick your preference or try them both out. There are also entirely new maps such as the casino in the 007 movie Casino Royale. At the end of each match, you'll be shown a scoreboard that displays the total earned points for each player in the game, the winning team, and also some special awards to players who had the most kills, the best accuracy, and a few other commendations. The game does also have its own built-in achievement system, giving you around 120 to unlock. While you do need Steam active in order to play GoldenEye Source, none of these achievements actually apply to your Steam profile. They were all built into the game, and the game only. There are also multiple game modes for you to be able to try out. Your common game modes such as Deathmatch, Team Deathmatch, and Capture the Flag are available here, but there are also a slew of other game modes for you to try out. Dr. No Armor is a simple mode where armor is not available on any map, but there are much more unique and interesting game modes. 3 great examples are Man with the Golden Gun, Living Daylights, and Gun Trade. Gun Trade is what it sounds like. Every time you kill a player or get killed by one, you and your assailant will switch weapons. That'll mean if you get blown up by a rocket launcher, you'll respawn with a rocket launcher. The enemy who killed you will get whatever weapon you were using at the time. If you can, try to avoid shooting people who are using slappers, which is the hand-to-hand weapon, or grenades. If you do, you'll be stuck with that. You'll either have to be really good with one of those weapons, or you'll have to get yourself killed. Man with the Golden Gun is a game mode that places a golden gun weapon randomly on the map. The player to pick it up will be immediately marked for everyone else to hunt down. Though the golden gun is slow to reload, each shot will be a one-hit kill. You'll have to place your shots well while avoiding being taken down by literally every player on the map. Living Daylights is a very, very different game mode type. It's sort of like Capture the Flag, except there are many flags spread around the map. Rather than having to take the flag back to a point, your score will gradually increase while you hold it. You can increase the speed that you gain points by picking up weapons and ammunition around the map. Another way to gain points is a pretty entertaining one. You run up to an enemy and slap them with the flag. If you can run away without taking damage for a certain period of time, you'll score an additional point. You won't lose the point if you get hit, but the damage timer will reset. Luckily, holding the flag gives you a speed boost, so it's a little easier to avoid being chased. There are a few other game modes included that I haven't mentioned, but that's just part of what makes GoldenEye Sword such a great game. Rather than just doing a simple remake of GoldenEye 64, the team went above and beyond by creating new maps, remaking old ones, and in general adding tons of great content that just wouldn't fit on a Nintendo 64 cartridge. It's come a long way over the 10 plus years of its development, and the amount of love and dedication that Team GoldenEye Source has put into it really shows. Not only is it a blast to play, but it's a nostalgic throwback to one of the best games the Nintendo 64 has to offer, and that's why GoldenEye Source is the first of many Mod-a-Lot Spotlights. That's all the time that I have for today, but tell me, are there any awesome mods, hacks, or custom homebrew games you really like? Do you think they should be featured as a Mod-a-Lot Spotlight? If you do, tell me all about them down below. And of course, tell me if you have any other ideas for videos you'd like to see. But in the meantime, I have to get back to do some paperwork. Doctor's notes, prescriptions, you know the drill. This is Dr. Mod-a-Lot, come again.